Greetings and salutations, viewer. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by my commentary partner, the boy.
Hey.
And this is the Two Nerds Podcast, where the big boys play! Before we get into WWE's Night of Champions,
That's right, everyone. White's here for a wrestling podcast.
What? No, there's more story to that, and I'll tell you here in a minute. If you could go down into the description, buy my books, follow us on Twitter, and get some Shining Rosado Super Blizzard goodness, that would be great. Hell, you could look elsewhere on this channel and find my little Let's Play of
Joy Lancer.
Joy Lancer, yeah, thank you, because I spaced. It's fun if you like old school, like super crazy hyper beat 'em ups, and you can get a little video preview of it there, and then go buy it on Steam. You no goodnicks.
You goodnicks, we're trying to get them to buy the thing.
I'm sorry, you goodnicks, you sweetnicks, you affluent little viewers, you listeners. Did I say viewer at the beginning of the podcast?
I don't know. They're the listener. There's one. There are many and there are one. They are the listener.
I don't know, dude. We're up to a lot at this point. But
no.
Yeah, it's all Ultimo Dragon and his multiple personalities, I suppose.
He's just got a billion YouTube accounts.
He's
very dedicated.
We're a little wacky tonight, and
we're hyped up.
Yeah, we're hyped up. So I stopped watching WWE weekly shows, like, I don't know what, half a year ago?
Dude, a while ago.
It's been a while. I want to say it was like back in November.
Something like that.
So almost a year ago. And then you guys remember when I stopped watching pay-per-views and Billy took over for me. In fact, the last pay-per-view I talked about on here was a shitty podcast because I was fucking bitter. And last pay-per-view, last month,
I couldn't do it anymore for you. I'm sorry, listener. I couldn't. It's
4 hours of SummerSlam, man.
4 hours of SummerSlam. That fucking Undertaker Brock Lesnar match. I couldn't bring myself to watch that shit. I could not. I was so mad at the booking. I had been watching weekly shows in forever anyway, basically since I think after WrestleMania. I'd just been watching the pay-per-views, and even with that, I was still so bitter and angry and just didn't want to watch anymore. And it was 4 hours, and I couldn't handle it, so I didn't.
But I do keep up on the E, because, look, we stopped watching it, but it wasn't like we're done forever. I don't think we ever made that,
Look, in the end of the day, we're lifers. We're probably never going to be done forever.
We were on a break. I spent that time watching old WCW shit.
I spent that time basically not watching wrestling at all. I didn't keep up on the E, aside from what people tried to talk about with me at my day job, to be summarily responded to with, I don't even know, I'm not watching. I didn't watch wrestling at the fuck all. And I feel like I desperately needed that break.
Sometimes you do, man. Sometimes you just need to get away from the product. And, I went on a pretty long Twitter rant. I think I talked about it on here somewhere as well. That I watched easily 3-4 hours of WCW one night. And I enjoyed the hell out of it. Whereas sitting down to watch a WWE show, a pay-per-view, was just torture to me at that point. But I saw the Night of Champions card because I was curious, so I looked it up. I knew it was coming up close, and I knew Boy might podcast on it, so I was curious. And I was really intrigued by the double main event. Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the United States Championship, and then immediately following that, Seth Rollins versus Sting for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship of the World WWE. And I was like, that's really interesting. I want to see Sting in a real match, see what happens there. And I was really curious to see where they would go with Big Match John. And I hate that they forced that meme so hard it stuck. I'm kind of fond of it now.
Yeah, he's large competition Jonathan. That's who he is.
And there were other matches on the card. I was curious to see the Wyatt's new guy and
Beef Fuck Castle.
Yeah, it's fucking Lord Humongous. But
Rictus Erectus with a beard.
Fucking yeah. So I was like, boy, 2 weeks ago, I think, I was like, dude, I kind of want to watch pay-per-view. I think it sounds kind of interesting. And he was like,
what?
Basically.
To be fair, going into this, I knew nothing. I'm watching weekly shows, wasn't aware of the card, literally didn't know any of the matches on it until we turned it on. I had no preconceived notions. I knew nothing about what was going on. I think someone at my day job may have mentioned to me that the remainder of the Shield was in a match with the Wyatts. And I saw Rictus Erectus, like, on my Facebook feed, and literally that was it.
Yeah. So this is what we were going into this pay-per-view with. You want to just start from the top?
Yeah.
Classic style?
Not the top. We didn't watch the pre-show.
No, and I wish I had because I love Stardust, but whatever. I follow him on Twitter. Cody, you beautiful. But the first match we watched, the first match of the actual pay-per-view, was Kevin Owens and Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship.
If you're a long-time listener, and assumably you are, you've been here since the beginning, there is only one of you, you've heard me bitch pretty loud about Mr. Owens. This was not a Kevin Owens match, but Kevin Owens still wrestled like Kevin Owens.
This wasn't that Kevin Owens squashes you match.
He wasn't Brock Lesnar 2.
Yeah.
He was still wrestling in his style, but there was back and forth. It was a match. And by God, it was so much better for it.
It was very solid. Not the best match in the world, but it was a good effort from Ryback, and Kevin Owens was matching his pace.
Yep.
Instead of making him look bad.
Let's be honest, Kevin Owens could have blown him out of the fucking water. He chose to match and make the match good. And it was solid ring psychology throughout the whole thing. They told a good story. You're gonna hear me say that a lot tonight, listener. They told a good story in this match. You wanna just go for the finish?
Yeah, this podcast can cap at half an hour now, so there's no need to drag it out for no reason.
Kevin Owens beat Ryback. In a very delicious heel way.
Yeah, he rolled him up. And he'd been going for that the whole match. He was like, no, I will win this any way I can. I will look good or I will just win it because I want it.
And he had been doing heel stuff. He'd been focusing on Ryback's arm.
He raked his eyes.
Yeah,
and
but
put a finger up his nose.
Ryback was going for the shell shock, going for his finisher, and Kevin Owens full on palmed his face and dug his claws in, got him in the face, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and managed to get a roll-up off it and won off that. That's just good, solid booking. Made Ryback look really good, made Kevin Owens look really good, like a good heel, smart. He'd been doing that sort of stuff the whole match. It was just solid storytelling and good work.
Yeah. That rolled right into Rusev versus Dolph Ziggler.
Okay, I'm gonna say probably maybe the worst match of the night. That doesn't mean it was bad.
I don't know, dude.
There is another contender later, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad match. This was a good pay-per-view. This was a Raw match.
Yeah, they showed a lot of light.
I think at one point I said I guess they were told beforehand to keep room for Jesus.
And for you guys at home who might not know what the fuck that means, showing light, since we all know that wrestling is a performance piece, is when you're doing a move and it doesn't quite connect, but the other guy acts like it did, and it is clearly visible that it did not.
Because you know what? The other move not quite connecting isn't that bad. If you make it look good, it can be almost impossible to tell. When you're showing light, that means the audience can see through the gap between you two. And that means it looks fucking ridiculous. And they did this a bunch.
The first half of the match, really, and that big DDT, I mean, that was just a bad camera angle. But that didn't help.
That camera guy got fired.
Oh, yeah. Vince rose out of his coffee cup and was... I'm about to say 2 words.
Can you guess what they are?
Suck it? Well, if you insist, zip. But I hate the gimmick going into this. I'm glad he's not Hip Hop Rusev yet.
Just give it it's perpetually 2 pay-per-view cycles.
Yeah.
Give it any 2 pay-per-view cycles from a given point in time, and he will be Hip Hop Rusev.
But I don't know. I like Rusev still. I like that he's rocking Bulgaria. I like that he's
Very much. Got the tights, the lights, got the Bulgarian flag.
Yeah, I like how his character has developed.
He's with the Crumb now.
I just don't like the overarching storyline. Now, that being said, it's very classic. And
this is pure,
this is the point in the
Miss
night,
Elizabeth 80s stuff.
This is the point in the night where I was like, this is WCW booking. I just watched this.
This is Miss Elizabeth and Sensational Sherry.
Well, what I was thinking about is the manager for Harlem Heat, I want to say, was being courted by that dude with the cowboy hat.
Yeah. This was fucking WCW gimmick.
Yeah.
This was classic WCW.
Yeah.
This whole Lana Summer Rae, who is Kmart Lana now, and
please give Kmart more credit.
I think I'm giving Kmart exactly as much credit as they need. They do John Cena clothing lines.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you? For money?
Yeah, shorts are comfy and easy to wear.
But, I mean, the last half of the match was pretty good. Rusev was mugging great. Ziggler was selling amazingly. They showed a lot of light, but they put on a good show despite it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a strong contender for worst match of the night, but again, not a bad match.
No, I'd say a good C+, B- somewhere in there.
Dolph Ziggler went over.
Yes, he did. Which I figured he would.
Yeah. Off a distraction from Summer Rae. Summer Rae was
threw a shoe accidentally at Rusev, and Rusev was like, "Who throws a shoe?" And then fucking Dolph Ziggler comes
zigzag
up
out of nowhere.
Him. I like how before we move on to the next match, I like how Rusev tells himself to crush things now because he's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. He's thrown off the shackles of the matriarchy there.
I was a little depressed. He has to tell himself. Summer Rae, come on, tell him to crush. He likes.
I also like the bit where he got all mad and kicked the ropes a lot.
Like
more than was necessary.
Wild kicking the ropes. It was pretty great. I still like Dolph Ziggler and Rusev were putting on a great show for not having a lot of ring chemistry. I think is ultimately the deal.
Yeah, I mean, you think about when Rusev was up against the likes of Big E, the kind of intense matches that he would put on.
I think Rusev does best when he has someone he can crush. He can do Clash of the Titans with,
I would agree,
and just slam against them in a giant meat explosion.
And I still like Rusev. Still think he's got the best music in the Federation. So
it's driving. It fucking gets the point across. It's great.
Gets you pumping. But as we said, Dolph Ziggler won, and the storyline is stupid. So who cares what happened afterward?
Yay! I'm with you on that one.
Next contest was for the Tag Team Championships. The Dudley Boys back from the crypt, and the New Day.
Back from TNA. You mean TNA.
I said what I meant.
Fair enough. And the New Day, oh my god.
I've seen New Day promos, because, I mean...
I watch Up, Up, Down, Down. I watch Austin Aries' YouTube channel, so I see them a lot just chilling out.
Yeah.
But I've seen a couple of their promos, too, because I take the time to go look at them occasionally. Not, like I said, not since I stopped watching... Not since SummerSlam. I haven't seen shit, but I've seen some stuff before then. And they're super entertaining.
Well, and Super Blizzard's always like, check out this New Day promo. And
yeah, and we do, because we like Super Blizzard. And we click, and we go, holy shit, it was really good. Fucking New Day 2015, New Day for President. That was amazing.
That was, fucking Xavier Woods. The whole trombone thing, first of all, is genius. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know where he got that fucking trombone, but never take it away from him. Yeah, it's perfect. But I love how he's a Jimmy Hart manager, talking about that WCW shit again.
He's the modern day
fucking Starrcade, okay?
Dude, he is the modern day Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, he won't stop talking. He is talking loud enough that you can hear him.
And it's
because Jimmy Hart never needed that megaphone.
No, that thing was purely for fucking show. But I gotta be honest, dude. He's attached. They've really done a good job making the New Day. Kofi Kingston's a great athlete. Big E's a great power wrestler. Yes. Neither guy's super good on the mic, or wasn't until the New Day gimmick, which gave them some meat to work with.
It gave them life. They're
Big
having
E
fun.
Has come so much into his own.
Oh
since
yeah,
the New Day,
yeah.
With his new preacher thing. Kofi is such a better heel.
Yeah.
He's much better at doing heel promos than he ever was at doing face promos. And, dude, Xavier Woods' mic work is top
just
class.
Phenomenal. What was it you said during the match? Where the fuck did they get this Chikara tag team, and what are they doing fighting the Dudleys?
Yeah!
Oh, man. To their credit, Bubba Ray Dudley didn't gas out too bad.
Devon didn't basically...
He took a fucking nap.
He took a nap, but like when it was a tag team match. That's why it's a tag team match. When he was in the ring, he was on the move.
Bubba spent like a quarter of the match on his knees. I'm hoping because he thought it was a funny gimmick and not because he was so tired.
No, it was probably because he thought it was hilarious. And to be fair, it fucking was.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
This whole match was super fun.
Yeah, everyone was just having a great time.
I loved their Save the Tables gimmick the New Day was doing.
And then after the contest, they brought out the tables when they won on disqualification to retain their titles.
Because they're the heels, everybody.
But they brought out that table, and they were like, now we're going to put the Dudleys through a table. But that didn't happen, no. And the Dudleys put Xavier Woods through the table. And this was my favorite part. Xavier Woods did the Devon I Am Dead twitch.
Yep. It's just that's classy.
That was just...
My favorite part was Xavier Woods' Rufio haircut.
Oh, that too. And like that, you and I were chanting Rufio at home because that's who we are. And then the crowd started chanting Rufio, and it was like, yes, I love this crowd.
Dude,
it was a good crowd.
That's aside the whole night, the crowd was super into stuff. Go ahead.
We'll come back to the crowd and how amazing they were. I think at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm cool with continuing to just roll right along here.
Sounds good to me.
The next match is probably the other contender for not so good match of the night.
Which again, I would say it wasn't a bad match. But I would say it was so by the numbers, and the better talent was so unable to showcase her talent.
Yeah.
That it was, because she couldn't, look, she couldn't make Nikki Bella look bad.
Well, like, Charlotte was being booked as the underdog.
Yeah.
Not to the extreme that, say, Paige was when she first showed up.
But, like, she was.
Yeah.
She was clearly supposed to be going up against Nikki Bella, who is, in kayfabe, a very strong contender. And I mean,
and Nikki had most of the butt punching offense.
Yeah. To be completely fair, actually, another quick aside, this whole thing, since I didn't know any of the matches, when the matches came up, I actively avoided trying to call them or book them because I just wanted to enjoy the product because they caught my attention with that first match so well. That I was, you know what? All right, fine. I'm just going to take the ride.
If you can make Kevin Owens not shitty, then this should be good.
I'm just going to take the ride. I actually ended up calling this match about halfway through just because it was super obvious where they were going.
Right.
And because they made it very clear that Nikki Bella had now beaten AJ's record and was the longest reigning Divas champion. So it's okay that she lose now.
Yeah. I called all of these... I had sort of a swing vote on the main event, and that didn't end up panning out exactly as I thought, but I did call all of these.
But it was a match with, again, I didn't like it personally, but they told a good story. Nikki Bella focused on one of Charlotte's knees, so she couldn't do the figure eight. She very much focused on it. She spent the whole match. She didn't deviate. Charlotte sold really well.
Yeah, she did a good job.
It was very, very, it was well done for what it was. It's just that, look, the fact that she can occasionally put on a good match aside, Nikki Bella's not a really good wrestler.
Well, and the comment I made during the match is like she's the Scott Steiner of divas. Like, she's got a good visual, and she's got an interesting talking style.
And there are these flashes of brilliance during her matches.
Yeah.
Where she'll do one really amazing spot.
But it was on accident.
Or one super good little ring psychology bit. Or something that's really, really winning and really drives home her gimmick. And then she'll just shit up the ring for the next 4 minutes.
We really liked particularly the figure 4 leg lock on the turnbuckle. And after she performed it, she looks at Charlotte and goes, "That's what you do to people."
That's what that feels like.
I was like, that's funny. And it was. It was funny. I laughed at it, and I'm laughing again now.
It's just these flashes of brilliance. And I feel like if you could hone Nikki Bella down to those moments, she would be much better as a performer. And I feel like you could do that if she was a tag team wrestler.
But unfortunately, when she's a tag team wrestler, it's with Brie.
And Brie isn't better, everybody.
They're both equally bad.
For different reasons, though, to be fair.
But Charlotte got the title on a submission.
On the figure eight. And
fucking clean.
She was selling that hurt knee the whole time. She was just screaming, and it was a great... the exact finish they built towards. It wasn't a swerve, and it shouldn't have been. That was a good finish.
And then we got to watch Ric Flair cry proud daddy tears for 5 minutes.
And then
and then they came back from break, and we watched it some more.
It was, Ric Flair was it's very important to Ric Flair that everyone knows that he's super proud of his daughter.
Yeah. Well, I think it was more like the WWE was getting shit ready and,
Hey everyone, just can we cut to Flair again? We got stuff for the next match to set up.
Speaking of the next match, this was a really, really good one. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Hey, dude, when you put the Shield, even part of the Shield, next to the Wyatt family, even if one of the members is a new guy.
I miss Juicy Booty.
I know. We all know. But when you put those together, you get a good match. You get a good match. I was eventually tired of seeing them because they were doing them every week and on every pay-per-view, but we haven't seen one in a while.
And this one was a little different. It's Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and the new guy, Braun Strowman.
That's a stupid name.
That's sorry. Dumb.
Officially, I'm not going to say that name.
He's Lord Humongous.
He's Lord Humongous.
Rictus Erectus.
He's Beef Fuckhouse.
Yeah.
He's
the big baby face guy. Not like the good guy, but his face is babyish.
Like, he has a very, very friendly face.
With the beard. He looks like if this was the 90s, his gimmick would be a lumberjack. And I believe I mentioned that this is so WCW, all like the build and everything, that was the Yeti.
They found
his finisher's even a hug.
Yep. It's just, look... And I like Beef Fuckhouse. He's amazing.
And the Wyatt family was focusing specifically on Roman Reigns just to ruin his day for no real reason. No. Just like the Dungeon of Doom.
Yep. And I love that gimmick. I love that the Wyatt family is focusing specifically on Roman Reigns to ruin his day for no reason. Because the Wyatt family is the smarts.
Yeah.
Anyone but you. That's the whole thing. Anyone else can succeed, not you. Anyone but you, Roman. That's the WWE. That's a strong take that. That is a strong, subtle middle finger to those fans. While at the same time giving them exactly what they want.
Sure.
Roman Reigns losing a lot of matches.
I don't there's not much to say about this match because it should be witnessed. There was a lot of brilliant psychology.
And quick stuff, too.
Nothing
that lingered.
No, not too long. Really great on the tag team action.
And they really, really sold Rictus Erectus as a beast. Dude's built like a fucking brick shithouse.
Anyway. Oh, yeah. He's just, oh man, some of those spots were just impressive.
Strong, dude.
They sold the guy. They
sold him so well, so quickly. Because in the very beginning opening bell of the match, not the opening bell, Ambrose started, but eventually got tagged into Beef and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is the guy who fucking smirked and laughed as Brock Lesnar, the Destroyer, the Conqueror, the Eater of Worlds, was...
That's Bray Wyatt. That's a different gimmick.
No.
Bray Wyatt eats the world. Brock Lesnar just...
Eats the Undertaker.
Just sleeps, and conquers the streak.
But, this is the guy who was chuckling at that guy, the best that guy could throw at him. Looks at Rictus Erectus and goes, and has a genuinely, I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, Brock Lesnar, for all his width, is about the same size as Roman Reigns. This fucking Road Warrior displaced is like a titan. It's like the old Andre the Giant thing. It's like, this man is not real. Except instead of being full of gigantism and clearly going to die from his own system failing on him, he's just a big fuck off dude.
He's a really big dude. But
he's got a stature that reminds me of Local Boy Chaos.
Yeah. Yeah,
and a very strong ring presence.
And yeah, he has good ring presence for someone who what you said is not green, but fairly new.
Yeah, from what I understand, he's not.
And he's already very tight in what he does.
He reminds me a lot of the Big Show when he first debuted in WCW as the Giant.
But better at wrestling?
Well, yeah, better at wrestling. But he's got that same sort of willing to do anything vibe about him. Like, he's hungry, and I like that. He's backstage hungry, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this match was incredible. How did it end? Oh, yeah. Chris Jericho got real cocky and decided he would try to take the match.
Yeah, Roman Reigns was doing his thing. He finally speared,
Did we mention that there was a third person that they didn't know who was going to be? It was Chris Jericho, because that's what happened.
We didn't mention that, but no. Yeah, there was, it was all 3 members of the Wyatt family, then the 2 remaining members of the Shield, and they needed a mystery partner. It was Chris Jericho. Surprise, surprise.
Which is good booking.
Yeah, that is good booking. Because Chris Jericho has some beef with the Wyatt family.
Like even Bray Wyatt was nodding. Like when Jericho came out, I was like, that's good booking.
But Roman Reigns was like doing the Hulk up, doing the, the shaking of the fists and the wailing and the gnashing of the teeth, getting ready to spear, Beef McFuckhausen again to put him down and hopefully win the match. Jericho blind tags himself in and
it's
ends
like,
up,
I got this.
tries to win off a lion salt of all fucking things, and then eventually gets crushed, killed, destroyed. He gets eaten.
Gets stuck in the Yeti hug and takes a nap.
So, like, they won, the Wyatt family won because Chris Jericho got too big for his britches. And they did a really cool post-match thing where Chris Jericho was salty about it, and, like, he got up, and they were, the remains of the Shield, Roman and Ambrose, were staring at him like, so you fucked this up for us, bro. Did that blind tag thing. Kind of cost us a match. What the fuck's up with that? Like, they were both sort of judge staring him, but not like menacing him, just like, dude, was that really necessary?
Yeah.
And he gets all salty and shoulder checks past them.
Specifically Dean Ambrose, because, like, fucking Roman Reigns backs off and is looking aghast.
Like
some of the best mugging. Like, how rude!
Roman Reigns is good at mugging.
And he was really smooth in this match. It's been a while since I've seen Roman do a thing.
Dude is
he's
endlessly trying to prove himself because the fans shit on, because a certain very vocal, very, very minority section of the fans is so loudly shitting on him always. He's striving to prove them wrong. He gets better every time I see him wrestle.
He had a chance tonight, so he's clearly climbing back up the ladder. But I would say that was match of the night.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that contest.
Easily match of the night. But, like, if I could give match of the night just to one person, it wouldn't go to anybody in this match.
No.
Match of the night was this.
Fucking MVP.
MVP of the pay-per-view.
Not MVP, although he's a good guy.
But the most valuable superstar tonight, as it were, most valuable wrestler was fucking Seth Rollins.
That brings us to our next match, which is Seth Rollins and John Cena for the U.S. title, like I said earlier. Part of the whole reason I wanted to see this, because I was curious what happened. And you know how fucking refreshing it is to go into a match kind of wanting John Cena to win? That's weird.
Well, because it's so comforting, because he's gonna.
Well, and I feel like a year ago when I was flabbergasted that I was going into a match wanting Brock Lesnar to win against John Cena. Because I was never a Brock Lesnar fan. But
then he ate John Cena and it was glorious.
Yeah, but so here tonight I was like, yeah, I kind of want to see John Cena win this one.
Come on, large competition, Jonathan, do your thing.
Yeah, and it was a really good match.
John Cena pulled out that fucking Canadian Destroyer again, and he did it really well.
Oh, he was picture probably yelled.
He was so startled that it was done well that he was like, ah!
I believe it was, but way louder. I mean, I'm not going to do that to your ears, listener.
But it was well done. He did a bunch of other really unorthodox moves for John. He did them
the
all
10 moves
well.
of Doom. Not the 5. He's upgraded it. He's got more now.
He's doubled his roster.
Yeah.
And he didn't do the Springboard Stunner. I don't think he got all of that one. It's the official name for that move. But he did the rest of the new moves along with his old ones, and a couple, like, he improvised. And Seth Rollins fucking put on a show and a half.
Oh yeah, dude. And just his mugging, his work in the ring, his psychology, just the effort, saving a couple spots.
And like I mentioned that during this match, it occurred to me they've really built him up. Because now he can fight on even ground with John fucking Cena and be trading blows and looking like he's a legit threat to John Cena. And I buy it. That's how much they've built him up that I buy this. This makes sense.
Well, and that's kind of the thing, though, because as we've said before, and I don't know if I ever got to say this on a podcast because, the bitterness. Back the last time we were watching, it was clear to me that Seth Rollins' gimmick was Draco Malfoy. Flagged by two mooks who were basically worthless at all times, with all of the power of pedigree and prestige behind him.
But basically no fucking idea what he's doing and in way over his head. And
scared as shit, but pretending like he's not. And that whole package was his gimmick. Which I wouldn't put past Seth, user of the Avada Kedavra, to make that his gimmick.
That would totally be legitimately what he was going for when he heard he was going to get minions.
But at this point, he's minionless. But he, ascended. He evolved. It would be like if instead of...
He had character development.
It would be like instead of the way it went down if... I just said his fucking name. The wizard guy.
Draco Malfoy.
It would be like if Malfoy had killed Dumbledore. He was just like, yes, I am the king!
He has gone from not in over his head and improvising as fast as possible to he's ascended. He's just that fucking good now. They really sold that he is every bit good enough to be a champ.
And he lost this contest.
Yes, he did. Clean to John Cena in a big match. And it was the right call.
Yeah.
And it was sold really well. John really had to work for it.
And Seth was like, nope, not doing the next match. Fuck it, I'm leaving. And John Cena fucking hit him with another attitude adjustment on the outside. I don't know what that's made of anymore.
And then threw him into the ring.
And, I mean, it was really good. And it really led into the main event really well. And this match was...
This match was a study in contrasts. Because when it was going well, it was amazing. And when it was going poorly, it was sad.
Can I, just for a minute,
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I usually don't like to just take the wheel. I ain't no Jesus. But I have a lot to say, and I want to get it all out.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, if you watch wrestling and you're not 12, you know it's a work. Now, these are guys out there who are still kicking each other's asses as softly as possible. So people get hurt and shit, and it's very athletic, so you also get tired. But it is a dance. It is choreographed. On the fly, but choreographed. All the storyline stuff, that's fake. We know this. There is a certain kind of magic that happens when a match goes from being a situation where you suspend your disbelief and go, these two men are fighting for a really big belt. And then go to, these two performers are doing their best to put on the show they were billed to put on, and I want to see this finish. Sting did pretty well through most of the match, but he took a couple of bumps that drained the tank. He was falling down. And
he doesn't mean that figuratively. At one point, he literally fell down.
Ducked a clothesline and didn't come back up. They had the doctor checking on him, and Seth, to his credit, watched carefully, kept his distance, played nicely, and then played to the crowd. Kept the crowd's momentum up. But the crowd didn't need to have their momentum up, because although their disbelief was no longer suspended, it did that magic turn that it doesn't always do. And you're going to see a bunch of fucking internet smarks and people who just want to be cynical and assholes be like, man, Sting fucking got there. No. Yeah, he did. But the dude is older than The Undertaker.
By a lot. Like 6 years.
Yeah. And it was miraculous that he made it as far as he did. But you got that vibe from the crowd that they just wanted him to get up and finish the match. And to Steve's credit, the motherfucker got up
and finished the fucking match. That is, you know what? Wrestling is a work. It is a padded, it is a worked performance. But fuck you, that is a warrior play. That is a That is really fucking impressive.
You gotta figure, alright? Let's think about your grandpa, alright? Think about your grandpa who has just been doing fucking...
gymnastics.
Yeah, fucking gym kata, okay? Like, crazy ass, like, Taibo, alright? With a guy half his fucking age. More than, I think.
Basically running circles around him.
Trying to keep pace with him. And then, like, after about 10 minutes of this shit...
Yeah, I'd say that's about what happened.
Grandpa falls down. And he doesn't fall down good. It's not part of the show.
You can tell, because he fucking eats Matt.
And the doctor comes in, and he's like, Grandpa, dear sweet beloved Grandpa, listener's grandfather who got him the best toy, his birthday, every year, always got that really funny card that was kind of dirty. You knew you probably shouldn't be reading it, but it had a hot girl on it, or a hot dude, or whatever, like, sort of things you like, Ultimate Dragon. Ultimate Dragon? Whatever.
Ultimate Dragon!
Fuck it. Dragon. I'm talking to you now. Remember when Dragon Grandpa gave you the fucking raunchy Dragon card? And you were like, man, I fucking love Dragon Grandpa. And now Dragon Grandpa is down on the ground. Dragon Grandpa might be having a heart attack. Dragon Grandpa might be going to the great plush suit venture in the sky.
I straight up thought he was having a heart attack there.
He might have been. But the motherfucker, like, you expect Gramps, you're like, Gramps, just don't do it. Just hold up your hand and be like, you know what? I'm done. It's fine. I quit. I give. And you know what? The crowd would have been like, oh, good effort, Sting. We still love you. Thank you for trying. But he didn't. He got back to his old grandpa feet. He got out that raunchy birthday card, and with the 75% fucking 85% assistance of Seth Rollins.
I saw a man put himself in a scorpion deathlock today.
Twice
a man put himself in a scorpion deathlock.
And sell it like he was being murdered.
Look, Sting was dying. Sting was, like, visibly starting to fall over while Seth was in the scorpion deathlock.
Dead crows were falling out of him at the time.
And Seth held Sting up with his own legs while in a scorpion deathlock, while selling like he was being fucking electrocuted.
And then they did it again.
Because it wasn't good enough. He couldn't do the turn that he needed to finish the match, so they reset so that Sting could get a better hold, and then they could do the turn into the fucking roll-up that Seth won with.
And the crowd, this fucking crowd.
This sweet Jesus cinnamon roll of a crowd.
They didn't boo, they didn't get all cynical. They fucking cheered, man. This match had you still got it chance. This was a feel-good match. This was like one of the really good episodes of Full House where you actually feel like you learned a lesson and you're glad everybody hugged at the end.
Or like the end of most episodes of Roseanne.
I don't know, there's a lot of them that didn't quite go that way.
That's true.
But, so yeah, Seth Rollins wins. He keeps his title, which I'm a little surprised about. I kind of thought they were going to usher him away because of the whole, Nazi girlfriend thing.
And I thought maybe they'd give it to Sting as like a thank you.
And then Sheamus would come down to the ring and be like, har, 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 my free title, yar. Because I guess Irish people are pirates.
You're not a fucking pirate, dude. It's the third time in as many days you've done pirate when you meant Irish. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know, man. But Sheamus did come down and he was like, yeah, let's do the thing. And then fucking Kane shows up. Masked Kane with his wig and everything.
And then he, murders Seth Rollins. Sheamus leaves, oh man, Kane's gonna stop me from murdering Seth. Then Kane murders Seth, and Sheamus, slides in the ring, do it again! Murder him more! I'm for this plan!
And Kane murders Sheamus. And then
Sheamus leaves, as you said, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
And then he tombstones Seth, and that's the end of the show.
And, dude, again, I'm going to say this. I'm sure I've said this on the podcast before. I will say it again in the future, I'm sure. Holy fuck, I have never been more wrong. At least I haven't been more wrong in a long fucking time about a performer of anything as I was about Seth Rollins. When he was in the Shield and I called him the Marty Jannetty of the Shield, because that's how I saw him, I was fucking so incorrect. So wrong. Past Boy was so stupid. That he was MVP tonight. He put on a really good match with John Cena, which John Cena is, A+ top class talent, so that's not hard. And then he put on a damn decent match with Sting, even while Sting was currently disincorporating. He was turning into dust. And Seth Rollins managed to pick up that fucking dust and wrestle it.
Sting was slowly turning into several different birds that were flying away out of the arena.
And Seth Rollins was grabbing
held those birds down. It was like, no, maintain human shape so that we may finish the match for these people. That guy out in the crowd right there is wearing a classy white suit with your face paint, motherfucker. We're doing this. I believe in you. Man.
He picked Sting up and carried him across half that match, and it was a sight to behold. Holy shit. Giant thumbs up to Seth Rollins tonight. He is definitely the most valuable person in the building.
So, now to be absolutely fair, it did kill a lot of the momentum. It turned what would have been an A- pay-per-view into a B+.
Because, I loved it. It was a great feel-good moment, but it did suck you out of the
That would have been a lot better if that had not happened. But, I still enjoyed it. I'm glad I came back for this. I'm glad I watched it. Does this mean I'm going to watch the next one? Probably not.
I was really very energized by this.
It depends on the card.
I don't know that I'm going to watch the next one, but I think I will at least start watching Week in Review.
Sure,
where they keep you up on storyline stuff. Maybe catch matches that I think might be good. I'm probably going to watch the next pay-per-view. I don't know if I'll podcast on it. That depends on if I have someone to watch it with me. But
Billy's always lurking around here somewhere.
I'm sure I could fill a half hour by myself anyway. But worst case scenario, if Billy disincorporates or something.
If he also turns into birds.
Yeah. Seth Rollins isn't there to make him in shape. But I just this was a really good pay-per-view. It would have been solid A, not even A-, solid A for me if it weren't for that last bit, which B+, maybe A-, because it was still a really good show, and they went for that ending.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't back off. They went for it, and I really admire that. This was very energizing. I'm super glad I took that break, because I feel like it gave me the break I needed to enjoy wrestling again.
I don't know. It depends on the card. We'll see what happens at the card for the next pay-per-view, whether I watch it or not. I will be watching more WCW. So, there's that. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know about that, because I never watched WCW as a kid. I got nothing's there.
You don't tend to like... Well, I didn't really either. I watched, maybe all told, a dozen episodes.
I just didn't. I wasn't that guy. I picked a side.
And one Starcade.
I picked a side.
Yeah, no, I get that. But, I think that's going to wrap it up for us tonight.
I think so, yeah.
I would like to say, some closing thoughts. I'm not going to do the super drag you down thing that I've done in the past, but it's really easy to be cynical about this shit, and it's really easy to get super bitter when you don't see things you like and you don't understand why. I am saying this as that person. But when you go to blame somebody and be upset at somebody, remember, these are athletes doing their best to put on a good show. They can't help what crap the writers give them, and sometimes the writers can't help what crap they have to write because of, editorial mandate, as it were. So,
ultimately, I think what we all can take away from this is blame Vince.
That was the theme of this pay-per-view. We were like, clearly Vince is not here.
Clearly Vince is on vacation right now.
He's just looking at old Nitros and going, all right, let's do this. All this stuff here, everything that's going on. I see the Four Horsemen, they're doing shit. Let's get, we've got a Flair, right? We can make Four Horsemen. Yeah, Girl Flair, make Girl Four Horsemen. I don't give a shit. What else do we have? Goons in face paint? Oh, they have a Sting. Sting, I see, is really big in the main event right about here. Let's put Sting in the main event. Why not? Who gives a fuck? United States Championship, very WCW. Put that on there. And so on and so forth.
And it worked. By God, it worked. But you think that wraps us up?
I think that will seal the deal for this week.
All right. Well, catch you guys next time. Everything's better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get hardcore!